When I first found out that I was going to be a dad, I was just over the moon. We were very lucky, we were blessed by the Lord to be able to get a child. And I remember going to the doctors to hear the heartbeat for the first time. I remember talking to her. I remember when she was born, and I remember feeding her for the first time and burping her. And that first night that she slept on my chest, which was probably a bad thing, don't recommend it, because thereafter she never wanted to stay in her bed, right? So she cried every single night. I love her as much today and even more. God, I've had so many incredible memories. The thing is that each child has their own personality. So my daughter is very different to my son. My daughter was always an organizer, and she was always incredibly smart in terms of how she did things. And she was also very determined. So when Ryan gets something in her head that she wants to get done, she will come at you every different angle. So I've learned how to say to her, you know, Ryan, it doesn't matter how many different ways you ask me this question, the still answer is going to still be no. Whereas my son is a little businessman, completely independent, doesn't say a lot, but is very philosophical when he does speak. So for me, with them is really, with my son is playing golf. So I'll say, hey, Braden, I'm going to go and play golf. And he goes, okay, who are you going with? If I'm going with somebody, he goes, okay, I won't come. But if I'm just going to take him and we're going to play golf together, that's a wonderful thing. The best advice my father has ever given me was never make a decision when you're emotional. And even when you are not emotional, don't be in a rush to make a decision. Just that incredible discipline that he's had, and his value of money. You know, my father, I'm sure there's a lot of jokes in Saint Lucia about it, but my father believes money is an asset and it must be managed like an asset. And so a simple thing like when he takes a shower, that he turns off the water when he's soaping, or he'll unscrew light bulbs because he thinks it's burning too much electricity. Still at this age, my father would do that. Those are the things that really, every time I'm with him, he continuously reminds me about humility and about the value of money. Being a father has helped me become a better leader, because sometimes in how I speak very fast, and sometimes my thoughts are ahead of me, and your kids are always going to ask you why. So you have to learn how to break things down simpler, and in order for them to be able to understand. The other thing is that your kids help you to slow down. You know, sometimes people want your attention, and so trying to do a lot of things for people sometimes is lost when people really just want to be able to look you in the eye, they want to hold your hand and just have that moment with you. And I have to say to you that my kids really help me stay in the moment and help me to remain focused and to give that personal time. So for them, it's not about how much time we spend together, but it's the quality of that time that we were able to spend together. You know, I know being a father today is difficult. And sometimes we have men who are fathering children, but are not taking on the responsibility. And I think some of them simply, they don't have the financial means to do it, and others because their value system is not the same. I know that my children may say to me, oh, Dad, sometimes when I say I love you. You know, I don't think there's a day that goes by I don't tell my kids I love them. There's not a day that I have an opportunity of hugging or kissing my kids that I don't do that. And as parents, sometimes we underestimate the value of that. And I want to say to the young men of Saint Lucia that you got to take parenting much more seriously. Bringing young kids up in the world today, don't let the tough exteriors fool you. They're human beings, we have emotions, and having the love and the guidance of a parent is invaluable. But for the young men in particular, take this thing much more seriously. Take this beautiful gift that the Lord has given us to be able to have a child and understand the responsibility of not just affording that child clothes or food, but also in nurturing that child spiritually and emotionally. And that's a gift that will continue to give back to you forever in your life. You know, this is a very exciting day. Women have been dominating the scenes for a very long time, and rightfully so in many ways. And this is really a day to remind us that we also have a significant role to play in society, both as a father and as a man. And it's very important that we understand what that is. For me, I've never been scared of showing an emotional side or shedding a tear. Because sometimes we try to make ourselves out to be much tougher than we are. It's okay to be emotional and to be passionate, but to enjoy Father's Day and reflect on what it means. And if you're not a father yet, start planning on becoming a father and the responsibility of what it is to be a father. So to all of you men out there, I want to thank you all for what you do for Saint Lucia and what you do for your families, and I wish you all the best on Father's Day.